So now we've talked about sort of the when. These are the seasons and sort of a picture. But what we really want to do is to get into the seasonality, we have to figure out how to bring the retailers in to the fold. And that was one of the key things as this took off in Europe. The retail programs were integral in getting the retailers to buy in. And once the retailers bought in, then the consumers took over. And then the consumption drove continuous sales and continuous growth of the programs. So what we want to do is talk about sort of some of the core differences, indoor programs versus garden center programs. Indoor programs are kind of different for a lot of the growers that Ball works with and a lot I work with, because it's a different set of merchants. And it's a different realm. I work with potted plant producers this is their arena all the time. But getting indoor, there are indoor opportunities, I think, in all retail outlets. But getting into that opportunity depends on a lot of times the relationship you have with the buyers. So again, there's a huge footprint. There's grocery stores, there's independent floral, there's box stores, there's warehouse stores like the Costco, Sam's Club, and then online sales. So there's incredible opportunities to exploit this as a indoor floral product. And again, the online sale, don't think that, oh yeah, everybody says online this, online that, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line, these things are durable as all get out in a box and shipped like a dream. So I think this could be a downright perfect online holiday opportunity as well. Garden center programs, as we get into annual perennial programs in the true traditional garden center sense. So indoor programs. So again, huge program, huge opportunities in Europe, just starting. There's a couple of growers that are actually doing this very successfully in Canada with a couple of retailers up there, and we're seeing some traction starting in the Northeast in the US and a few other markets as indoor programs are beginning to take off, and they're being very, very successful. But what we're looking at is what can we do to drive this? So we're looking at driving the branded program. We're looking at, this is a mock-up of a display product that we will send to retailers. And so basically it's a package you put together, and then you've got a nice sort of temporary display. This and other opportunities to support the retailers for the indoor programs. Again, like I alluded to before, scheduling is the key piece, and we're doing a ton of work on culture on these and scheduling. And again, more in some in webinar 2. So this is and also I just want to shout out to Stephanie Vincente, our marketing manager, who helped me put this together. She just did a great job of photographically getting my messages, and then also putting a really pretty presentation together. So thank you, Stephanie. But this is, I think, an excellent photograph that just kind of shows you sort of an indoor floral, small indoor floral display. Orchids. You see orchids, you see a gerb, you see a clancho, a cyclamen, maybe seasonally, mums here or there, some violets in the corn, but no Dianthus. But you go to Europe and you'll see Dianthus on these displays all the time, all year round. So we want to become a product that is going to be on this table. This is a small one, but again, depending on your grocery retailer, we want to be on this table and part of these everyday programs. We also want to, like we showed at that cutout, double down on holidays and provide the tools for the retailer and the grower so that we can double down, put this little display up by the till and really capitalize on it. To see this happening in Europe, you see the top selling variety from Selecta Pink Kisses at retailers from gas stations to grocery stores, often sold in a little display at the end of the till next to the candy bars, and very much making the opportunity for a consumer to pick it up freely and easily, and they do, thus making it super, super successful. We need to create the tools and the concepts to help our growers and our retailers achieve the same goals. Again, holiday rack displays, signage, rack signs, pallet displays, There's a lot of things that we're working on, concepts that we're working on for different kinds of programs. And we are open to talk to anybody about what we can do to capitalize on this opportunity. So box stores, again, a holly rack display. So typically in a box store, when I talk about box store, I'm talking about, really the in our market, there's the Walmart, which is kind of grocery-ish, but then there's the true home improvement, the Depots and Lowe's of the worlds, the Menards and the folks like that. And what we want to be able to do is if you look at those indoor programs, they're typically succulents and some foliage and foliage from fours up to some floor plants and all that, and very little, if any, color at all in there. Oftentimes it's the grafted cactus, about the only color components in those displays. And that's okay. Those growers have got a niche and they've got a footprint, and they're exploring that. But what we want to be able to do is to still get indoors in these home improvement warehouses, and that's why we're looking at these kind of rack displays and programs that would put this in actionality, front and center in the store, focusing on the holidays. One of the things is the warehouse stores, which is, I think, one of the greatest untapped opportunities we have. It's a dynamic way to sell, but things that sell well sell very well at these outlets. And I do believe, based on the reality of put it in and it's effectively a virtual guaranteed sale, durable indoor programs, things that ship well and hold up well in the store to give you that shelf life to get sold. That's an important part of this, not to mention the opportunity to exploit these in multiple different types of containers and multi-packs and large containers as components and mixes and so forth. So I think there's huge opportunities in the warehouse stores. And again, online sales, online producers, we should look at this as an opportunity, because this is going to ship in color, where a lot of time you're shipping things a little bit on the greener side because they don't ship well. This can ship in color. So that's the indoor programs. So garden center programs, again, what we're trying to do is to differentiate and create a little bit higher value equation. Again, like you look at pansies and primula for the seasonality for that early shoulders. We want an alternative to go into the program as a species. And again, you can exploit this with multiple types of from the pack types all the way up through, gallon types and beyond, bigger containers, that we can put earlier season, higher value, more durable in the weather products out there. Not to mention just a great show. Shelf life, that's so important for retailers and more, and growers, and as more and more retailers are becoming pay by scan based, it's super important that the growers have shelf life on the product, so they don't have to write the credits. So there's, again, lots of things that we can bring as a genus, as a whole category, Dianthus, to help resolve some of these retail issues. So in the perennial world, there are some retailers that have really done a good job of really taking advantage of breeding in Dianthus. Others, it's just another part of a very complex collection of perennials. And perennial displays are often sort of, I don't want to say hodgepodgey, but they're often just a lot of different things showing up, all mixed together. And sometimes they're very, very showy at point of sale, sometimes they're not. But what we can do with this is make a category, make a table, make a Dianthus table, and have multiple types of products in your perennial program, singles and double flowers, quarts and 2.5s, really great opportunities to take advantage of these things, the species in these type of programs at retail. So again, even though the perennials are a place where I think we're selling the most here in the States, I don't think we're doing it justice based on the opportunities that the genetics are presenting us.